Alright, here we go, we're live. How's everyone doing? Feels like it's been a little while since one of these live streams, but I am excited to do this again. So let's get a quick audio and visual check as usual to make sure that we're not going to have any technical issues during this live stream. And we do have quite an important one for today's live stream as well. So I just want to actually, I need to make sure that you guys can actually see this properly, so bear with me. All right, there you go. Now you can see the price levels. Perfect, we're back to normal. So we've had a pretty catastrophic dump. Here we go. Here I am. Yes, you guys can see it. Perfect, everything's okay. We had a pretty catastrophic Bitcoin breakdown right here. This is a pretty big deal. Bitcoin managed to fall down from quite an important level after it's been faking out constantly. It faked out up here, it faked out up here. It really looked like Bitcoin wanted to make a rally up to those higher levels. It wanted to make a rally up to those 40k levels, but because every time Bitcoin managed to get that breakout and it failed, it did kind of, I think, poise us towards the downside, which is what I've been saying for quite a while. I've been saying for quite a long time now that even though we were in an equilibrium and it can break either way, I was expecting it to break to the downside more, simply because we're in a downtrend, right? And so what we're getting right here, ladies and gents, is a continuation of our existing downtrend. Now, we haven't actually set a new low yet. If we set a new low, that would mean that we have to drop below about $29,900. So we're still far away from that. We're like $3,000 higher than that level right now. So it's not something that's an immediate danger, but if Bitcoin did manage to fall down below this level, that's where we're going to start looking at something very dangerous. So you need to be prepared for this, and more importantly, you just need to be aware of which situation this market is in right now. It's in a bad situation. You need to know about it, otherwise you could get taken by the storm and you'll be caught by surprise, right? So that's quite important. First of all, though, this doesn't come as a surprise. Bitcoin has been in this downtrend for a long time, and when we get these breakdowns, it usually ends up being pretty bad. An example of this is where we start to get these kind of rising wedge patterns, right? Where the market is originally trending downwards and then we start fighting the trend with a rising wedge, right? So that's the typical thing you guys keep on hearing me talk about, where we're trending downwards, then we fight the trend briefly, and then the trend continues. And when the trend continues right here, it's typically quite a strong continuation. It's not going to look like this. It's going to look more like this, which is exactly what happened right here. It's exactly what happened right here. We're not trending downwards at a 45-degree angle. We're trending downwards at like a 90-degree angle. This is what tends to happen when we get breakdowns out of these kind of patterns. We get very big dumps. Today's one has not been as big as previous ones that we've seen, but it's still been a fairly sizable dump. We need to put this into perspective. What we are getting right here, ladies and gents, already is a dump that's gone down by minus 15% inside of a day. This is still a pretty big deal. And what's even more important about this, right, what you need to keep in your mind right now in this market situation, and this is what I'm aiming to bring you with this live stream right here, ladies and gents, is that this market right now has been scared for a long time. Not only has it been scared because we were trading sideways for a long time, and that's going to put an element of wear and tear on your brain as a trader, right? Like, that's just going to be stressful, just seeing the market at the same price level for, how long was this continuation pattern? This was an 18-day, that's a 2.5-week continuation pattern, right? That's a pretty long continuation pattern for Bitcoin, especially considering that previous continuation patterns were not nearly as long, right? You can draw one right here. This continuation pattern was super short. This was just a short little bear flag. It barely even looks like a continuation pattern. It lasted just nearly 2 days. So a very short continuation pattern compared to what we've seen just now, and that alone is going to offer some wear and tear for the brain of traders. That is essentially, it's going to be stressful. It's going to cause trauma in a trader's mind. When the market is trading sideways like this for so long, it's just stressful. It's not nice, and so that's coming after we've already managed to drop down by 50%. So we are in a bearish trend, right? This is something that, when I was saying this when Bitcoin was trading up here and up here, I was getting a lot of hate for it. I've been called, the master FUD lord, stuff like that, where people are trying to say that I'm spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But that's not my goal here. It happens to be that what I'm saying matches that criteria because the charts have been shit. And that's my job. My job is to tell you what the charts are telling me. I'm seeing what I've been talking about in these videos, and for a long time, ladies and gents, since Bitcoin dropped below 50,000, and actually way before that, because, well, before that is when I started selling at $52,000, you know, I started becoming a little bit bearish with my trades, not with my analysis, but with my trades. And so what you are starting to see here now is that because we've been in this downtrend for a long time, people are upset, people are worried, and then we entered a sideways consolidation range, which essentially, you know, whatever we do after this is what I see this as, is like a force multiplier. I see this as you know, whatever attitude we're going in to this force multiplier with, if we come out downwards again, it's going to get even worse. That's kind of how I see these kind of patterns, because it's essentially nothing's happening for 2 weeks. You're in a state of purgatory. For those of you who don't know what purgatory means, you're in a state of uncertainty where you don't know if something good or bad is going to happen for 2 weeks. And that's really going to cause you a lot of stress if you're already in a stressful state. And then we break down. That to me is a pretty standard. I mean, that's not surprising. That's something that Bitcoin does a lot. It'll, you know, it'll turn up the pain. We've seen this before. So if you've been watching this channel for a long time, shout out to those of you who've been subscribed for like over a year. You must have heard me talking about this before, where I'll say things like Bitcoin likes to amp up the pain and then make the pain even worse with time-based corrections, and then dump it even further one final time. That's so typical of Bitcoin. And so one of the most easy examples of this happening in the chart is actually back here on the daily chart, going all the way back to 2017. And this is the same thing that I've been talking about for a very long time on this chart, and it is the crash where Bitcoin managed to fall down to $1,800 way back in June, something like that. It was this crash right here, June 2017. Take a look at this crash right here, right? So what Bitcoin managed to form right here, and this is very, very important. So if you are enjoying this, then make sure you smash up those likes. Thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream today. If we do take a look at how Bitcoin topped out at the $3,000 level, I'm getting some comments saying that I should move my my face cam, but I think it's in a pretty good spot. Yeah, it's in an okay spot, so I'm making sure not to cover anything. But right here, Bitcoin managed to rally all the way up to $3,000, and you got to keep in mind that's three times higher than the previous all-time high. So that's like Bitcoin right now going from $20,000 to $60,000. It tripled its all-time high. That's what Bitcoin did right here as well. So we're looking at similar magnitudes of rises, right? We're looking at similar intensities of the uptrend in terms of percentages. This went up by plus 200%. Bitcoin right now has also gone up by plus 200%. I think it's 200 means triple. So up to $3,000, we immediately get a very big crash. Now this is different to our current trend, but what I want you to focus on is how immediately the pain goes from 0 to 90 right here, and then it goes from 90 to 95 throughout the next couple of weeks. This lasts weeks, right? It goes from 90 to 95, where Bitcoin's just continuously trading sideways. We don't know what's going to happen. We've dumped massively. We think that it's going to go higher. We think that there's still hope. There is still some hope, and that's called disbelief at this point, actually. You know, people are still hoping that something nice happens. We go from 95 on the pain scale all the way up to now, right here, 97. Things get very scary, and then it dials up to 100 on this drop. Because really what's happened here in this trend, ladies and gents, is that Bitcoin topped out at $3,000 after it's been rallying up in a straight line, pretty much just a beautiful straight line for months, for literal months. Nothing stopping Bitcoin. All of a sudden, doesn't this sound familiar? All of a sudden, Bitcoin dumps massively, and then it hurts you even more with a sideways trading range, and it dumps out of that too. My God, that really led a lot of people in the space to think that this market was dead very temporarily. It gets even worse, falls all the way down to 1800. But of course, that's where we get the big V-shape recovery. Look at that. This is a classic V-shaped correction upwards. Where does Bitcoin go? Bam. All the way back up to $3,000, and we've never returned down to that level ever again since that time. That's exactly what I think we could be shaping up to enter right now. I don't think, though, and it's important to note that I don't think that we've had this leg yet. I think we're gonna get it, and right now I think we're here, right? I think that we're just finding support at a previous area. We might get a little bit of a bounce up. Actually, we're in a bounce right now, and it might dump a little bit lower. Now, this dump doesn't look very intense. I think our one might be a lot more intense. It might be like a $10,000 drop, and that's why the titles have been very dramatic lately. It's for a reason, you know, obviously it's just part of being a YouTuber, but it's also because I think that this genuinely, it doesn't have good support anywhere near. And that, I think, is a very, very important thing to keep in mind, you know, because if you are keeping in mind these kind of things, which, you know, you might not think are super important, but you're aware of them, that's where you go from being, you know, a losing trader, somebody who habitually loses in this market, to somebody who habitually wins, who pulls in big profits, juicy profits consistently, even during crashes. That's what we're seeing across the board with VIP members. And you know, one of the cool things that I've done inside of VIP just over the past couple of days is, you guys know that I was in a trade. I was in a short trade. It's not as good as it sounds, because I closed it way earlier than I should have. Made a very, very small profit instead of what would be like a 50% gain right now, but that's completely fine. What I have done is I've made an exclusive VIP video trade breakdown. So this was a small gain that to me was worth a lot in terms of lessons, and it's the most recent VIP exclusive video that I made. So I made it a couple of days ago, I don't know, like 4 or 5 days ago, something like that. And it breaks down one of my recent trades in depth. So this is everything: my entry level, my targets, my stop loss, absolutely everything to do with that trade. It's an 18-minute video exclusively talking about analysis. Trading. So this live stream has gone on for 13 minutes. It's already been very detailed. Imagine something longer than this, not focusing on the analysis, only focusing on the trading, right? There's, you know, when you're a trader, there's two sides to what you're doing. The first side is like the Ferrari chassis, is the analysis. You need a chassis to drive a car. The second side, which is what's going to move the car, is the engine. That's the trading. What you guys are seeing on this channel is the chassis. It's bloody beautiful. I know Ferraris are beautiful, but you need the engine that's going to run it too. And this is a taster of how VIPs consistently receive that bit of the engine right there. The video is publicly available for today only. That means yesterday now. It's going to go back to being exclusive for VIP members within just a few hours. So now is your time to watch it. The only way you can watch it, other than typing this URL in, which would be a very lengthy process, is by clicking on the first link in the description down below. That's going to take you to our free /gold Telegram channel, completely free of charge. It's our Telegram channel where we're giving you more free analysis and insights into the market, and you'll be able to watch that free VIP video before it goes back to being exclusive for VIPs. We're going to be doing these trade breakdowns for every trade moving forward. They're very, very in-depth. The reception on this has been amazing. Many of you have already watched it. If you haven't, you're missing out. VIP members have loved it. You guys inside of /gold have loved it as well. It's been my pleasure to make it. This is my favorite kind of video. And if you ever feel like these videos are not advanced enough, then this is for you, because I'm not holding anything back in these videos. I'm talking the same way I'd be talking to Tone Vase. You know, I'm obviously keeping it simple, for example. You know, Tone Vase, for example, I'm obviously keeping it simple. I'm not trying to, you know, confuse you guys, but I'm not holding any details back. I'm going all in on the on the education, for example. So there you go, first link in the description down below, and if you want to take it further, you already know how to join VIP. But let's take it right back to the charts here and talk about what might happen next, because right now we're really only looking at two possibilities the way I see it. Number one, we're looking at a bigger bounce from this trend, from this support right here. We already have a bounce. It's not been a big one, but it's a bounce nonetheless. Bitcoin has gone up from 31,000 all the way up to 32,500. So that's a $1,500 bounce. It's about 5%, whatever, it's something. Or the second thing that could play out is that we somehow fall below this blue box. So it could be that we find support and then fall below. It could be that from here we just fall below now. It could be that we kind of trade sideways here and then fall below. But the second overall outcome, other than a big bounce up, is that we fall below. And since we're in a downtrend, and we have been in a downtrend for a while, and it's been a strong downtrend, right? A lot of people have been in disbelief about that, and it's things like this which is going to shake them. But what you need to keep in mind right here, ladies and gents, is that a lot of people have not been able to swallow the truth that we're in a downtrend right now. We are in a downtrend. It's been like this for nearly 2 months now, 55 days. That's a pretty long period of time, and we've dropped by more than 50%. You know, way more than 50% actually. If we measure this from the high down to the low, it's a 53% move. So I said way more, it's not that much more, but it's still a significant drop nonetheless. And so that's a big deal, right? A lot of people have been in disbelief about this, and what you need to keep in mind, right, as people who watch this channel, as people who are obviously more turned on than the general market, is that things like this are going to convert the last few people who don't believe that it's a downtrend, right? The last few diehard believers, things like this, falling out of a consolidation period and then dumping below support even further, those kind of things are really what's going to twist the arm of people who still haven't succumbed to the reality yet. And those people are going to succumb to the reality too late. Those are the people who have been holding on with such strength to their ideas for such a long time that they're going to then lose belief when the pain gets twisted even harder because we've been trading sideways and we're not getting rewarded by trading up. Instead, we're trading downwards. Instead, we're actually teasing the possibility of falling down into the $20,000 range. These are things that are really going to twist the arm, twist the pain factor that little bit more, which is, I think, what generally leads to the market then finding a bottom. When you're getting the last few diehard believers switching to the other side, which in this case is bearish, that's where I think we're going to be getting something pretty nasty. Obviously it pays to be bearish at the top. That's what we're doing inside of VIP. That's why VIP members saw how and where I was selling my Ethereum all the way up here. I announced that I was selling it here. I sold it over here in Bitcoin, not in USD. So it's not that impressive, but still very, very cool nonetheless. VIP members saw me doing that. VIP members saw how I was selling my Bitcoin all the way up here at $52,000. An in-depth explanation of why I began selling my Bitcoin holdings yesterday. So VIPs have been seeing how I've been making these moves before these big drops happen, and obviously that's where it's most important. But you're gonna be most unpopular at that time. That's why I've been saying for such a long time, guys, I'm not here to be popular. You guys have heard this line a lot. I'm not here on this YouTube channel to give you popular opinions, to be agreeable, to be likable. I'm not here to make fucking friends. I'm here to make money. I'm here to take money out of the hands of people who are not able to understand the reality of these markets. This is like a war zone. This is like a modern day war zone for nerds. And I'm here to keep on stealing dog tags out here. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm here. And it means that there are going to be a lot of harsh realities. It means that right when you think I'm saying the craziest, most absurd shit, I'm probably actually putting myself on the opposite side of the market to where, the opposite of where most people are. And that's where I tend to make most of my money. That's where the winners tend to make most of their money. So if you think that sounds attractive, then there you go. We're not trying to be likable. We're trying to be right. And being right is never easy because nobody will agree with you and you will feel like you're an idiot and you will sound like you're an idiot and people will call you an idiot, and that's completely fine because as long as the majority are doing that, well, then you're okay. As long as the majority are doing that, you know that you're not one of them and you know that you're not one of the sheep. So there we go. I think that because we have been in this downtrend for a long time, there is a significant possibility of breaking this support. If we break this support, we then need to identify where Bitcoin might fall to next. Typically, if we break below one support level, we're going to fall down to the next support level. But it gets a little bit more complicated than that because some or not all support levels are made equally. You guys have seen me talking about this a lot. If you haven't, it's probably because you're not subscribed. So please go ahead and subscribe to make sure that you don't miss out on more content on this YouTube channel. Obviously, it's very thorough. We've been calling these drops precisely every single time during this trend. It's been very, very accurate on this YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed, you would have missed out on it. If you have enjoyed this content so far, then make sure you smash up those likes. And by the way, for those of you who are looking for an exchange to trade on, you already know Bybit is the place to be. I've been with them for years and I absolutely love them. They're my favorite exchange. There's a link down below for you to sign up to it. And I am in the United States right now, so I'm using the VPN. Of course, I can't endorse that, but I've never had a problem with it. Nobody else that I know has ever had a problem with it in the United States. The link is down below, and what you're going to get when you sign up with that link is a trading bonus. You're going to get some extra free cash deposited straight into your account when you make your first deposit. So that can be quite valuable. You can use that money to trade. You can use that money to play around with the buttons. I have a tutorial for the exchange down below. But let's take it right back to the support level right here. If you aren't on Bybit already, you can just pause the video, sign up to it, and come back to this right here. You're not going to miss anything. What we are looking at right here is the support level at $30,000. And the reason that this is an important support level, in my opinion, is because Bitcoin has managed to find a lot of support here previously, and it's demonstrated that it found that support again. So this is quite a big deal. There's a few reasons why this is a strong area of support. Strong areas of support on this chart for me are denoted as these blue boxes. The one blue box right here, another one right here. The weak areas are in green, just for you to know. And so the weak areas in my perspective. And so the reason that I feel so strongly that 30,000 is a strong area of support is that when we initially fell down to this level and found support, it triggered a big rally to the upside. Bitcoin managed to pump up by $12,000. So that's quite a strong bounce that Bitcoin actually managed to find. And then the second time we fell down to this level, again, we got a big strong bounce up that took us $10,000 higher. So this was again a big strong bounce. The next time it sent us up by about $4,000. So in each of these instances, Bitcoin has pumped up by 40% and then 33% and then 15%, something like that. These are big pumps to be getting off one support level. And then the final one, this actually took us all the way up to $50,000, this rally here. So this support level was very significant back in June and February. And ladies and gents, it was exactly as significant again just recently at the end of May, going back 2 weeks, where Bitcoin initially fell down to this level. Where did it spike up to? Exactly up to that $42,000 level, like clockwork. This is exactly what we were talking about on this YouTube channel, where these are significant levels, and if you knew that you should be looking out for them, you stood to make very impressive gains. Many VIP members did. You can see a bunch of our VIP members made profits with their entry prices and their current prices being lower, meaning that they were going short on the market. This means that this person made money while Bitcoin was dropping. Actually, 108% is huge. That's a double. That means that this person doubled whatever they put into this trade. And the same thing for Ethereum right here. Again, trading the short side, making money during the crash. This person was able to learn a lot through VIP and hasn't been trading nearly as much, but still seeing absolutely phenomenal gains. This is what we see across the board with VIP members who take what we do and treat it the way that it should be treated and actually go through the content properly. The most common result that I see is that people trade way less. I'm talking, usually people will join and they're trading multiple times, not usually, but people will be trading multiple times a day or even once every day, which to me is crazy, right? I need to make this super clear with you real quick, not even part of the VIP shill. In this range, there was nothing to trade for the most part, right? If you were trading daily in this range, which means every day 18 trades during this range, because this range was 18 days long, you definitely lost money. There's no way you made money. I don't think there's a single person in this audience who did that and actually made money in this market. The only time where you can really make trades is when you're getting moves like this, or when you're getting moves like this. These kind of moves are okay, but if you're trading these kind of moves right here, there's just not much that you can do. You stand to lose a lot more money, right? So if you're trading a lot, you stand to put yourself in risky positions way more. As soon as you drop your as soon as you, that's a really weird comment. As soon as you drop your trading frequency lower, you're going to start fine-tuning which trades you actually enter, which means that you're going to start entering better trades and you're going to be in a position like this member of VIP. But it's not just enough to know that trading less is useful. You need to be able to watch it happening in front of you. Watch me trading. You need to be able to learn all the theory behind it so that you really understand why it's important. And from there, while you're watching me do it live as well, because VIP is where you get to watch me trading, doing absolutely everything I'm doing from start to finish, from consideration phases to where I'm closing out the trade and planning my next one. Absolutely everything comes in VIP. The steps to join are on screen right here, and that's where the big game changer is. So if you want to get in, here are the steps to join. Click on the first link in the description down below. Go ahead and watch our free VIP video while you're at it. You're going to love it. It's one of the best videos I ever made, I think. And then once you're in the free Telegram channel, click on the @4flights button at the bottom of any post inside of 4flights Gold, and then click on send message to ask me how to join VIP, and we'll give you all the information for that. But let's bring it right back here. What we do have are these, is this strong area of support at the 30K range. This is a big deal. I did show you why it was a strong area of support back here. I've shown you why it was a strong area of support again. And that's really what makes it such a strong area in my opinion. It's the fact that it was strong historically and strong recently. So that's two things that made this a very strong area of support. We compare it to resistance at $24,000, and you can see that Bitcoin managed to rise up to 24,000, and it got rejected and it fell down to 22,000, which was a 10% less than that. This was less than a 10% correction in the price, right? The equivalent, the other support level, this triggered a 40% rally to the upside. So it's a night and day difference where resistance only sends us down by 10%. This support sends us up by 40%. So, and it's been repeated historically. We've never seen 24 before this or after this. So, the point is, this to me cannot be a strong area of support in front of a level like 30,000. On its own, it's a good area of support in my opinion. Bitcoin found good, healthy resistance here. It just kind of traded sideways here for 8 days, which is fine. That's good resistance to be finding. It certainly indicates that we could find support if we fell back down here, which could end up meaning that we're going to trade higher. It's a very, very clean area of support, but we're going to be falling down from 30K if we get down here, right? So that's a very strong area of support, and 24K just is not that strong in my opinion. 24K is just not as strong of a support level as 30K is in my opinion. And so going off that alone, I think that we are going to have to come lower. I think that the only other strong area of support that we have is going to be down at the $20,000 level. We've got some CME gaps like right around here, another CME gap right around here. So if you believe in that stuff, then it means we're going to fill them if we fall down to the 20K range, perhaps as low as 17,000. And I think that really this is the other strong area of support. Now there is a but, and this but is good for the bulls. I do think that there's a possibility we can bounce higher, like 22, maybe even 24,000 for one particular reason, which I will get to in a moment. But for now, because I'm disqualifying the $24,000 area of support, because it's just not as strong as this, and if this collapses, I don't see how 24 would hold. Well, 24 is actually a lot stronger than this support and this support in my opinion. And the only reason that I'm actually drawing these two areas of support on the chart really is to show that there is something, right? There is something that can support the trend up. What we absolutely could see in my ideal situation for the market, for example, and it doesn't mean that this is going to happen at all, but something that we could see is that Bitcoin kind of manages to get a small bounce off here, gets a smaller bounce off here, and then we maybe we get another bounce like this, but eventually we hit the $20,000 range. That's what we might be able to see with this kind of chart movement. But overall, the price direction is pretty clear. You can just draw another line that looks like this, and that's to show you that if we fall below this blue line, I think we're probably going down to the next blue, this blue box. I think we're probably going down to the next blue box, and the reason for that is, like I said, there is just not any good support in this range. And I can demonstrate this to you really clearly right now. Let me demonstrate this to you really clearly. This is using an indicator called the VPVR indicator. And I haven't used this often in this on this YouTube channel lately, but it's definitely a very, very important indicator in my opinion. And this is going to make the point very, very clearly. Now, the VPVR over here is an indicator that essentially is showing you how much volume of Bitcoin is traded at certain price levels. And that's quite important because it essentially shows you where the market is interested in the price, where there's a lot of trading that happens for the price of Bitcoin. So if you don't know about this indicator yet, then it's probably because you're new to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and pause the live stream right now and type this into the YouTube search bar. That's where you can watch my full tutorial on the VPVR indicator, including how to get it and how to use it. Unfortunately, I don't want to get your hopes up. This indicator is not available for anybody who doesn't have a paid plan on TradingView. So you can have the cheapest plan on TradingView. There's also a link down below where you can even pay with crypto for TradingView if you want it. You can have a cheap plan on TradingView, even a free trial if you want to use this indicator. And I think there's no reason to not have a paid plan on TradingView, especially if you've got anything over like a couple $1,000s. TradingView is cheap. It'll cost you like $10 a month. I don't even remember, maybe 20. It doesn't make a difference. When you're trading with at least a couple $1,000s, there's no reason to not have it, in my opinion. And the VPVR is a very useful indicator for visualizing exactly what I've been saying to you guys over the past couple of minutes, because really what it's showing us right here is that the market is very interested in the price over here between $30,000. Between $30,000 all the way up to kind of $38,000. The market is very, very interested in the price of Bitcoin. But there's basically no spikes on Bitcoin until we fall all the way down to $23,000 over here. And then the next spike is down here at 20,000. In fact, not even 20, it's more like 19,300 is where the next spike for the VPVR is. And really what this is demonstrating to us right now on this chart, ladies and gents, is that the market is much more receptive to levels like the $20,000 level than levels like the $23,000 level. Really, the way we use this is we will typically tend to go from one area of high volume to the next area of high volume. and we'll skip everything in between. Well, I mean, we might, like I said, we might kind of ping pong in between these levels, find some support, some resistance, but eventually we'll fall down to the point of control on the chart. And the point of control on the chart, ladies and gents, is it basically means the point where the VPVR is at its biggest point, where there's the most interest in the market. And right here, it's at 20K. It's probably actually a little bit higher. No, it's not. So the point of control on this chart is 20,000, and this stretches way back, right? If I showed you this chart in the context of what happened in 2017, this would be even bigger, this spike right here. You know, so $20,000 is that big level that everyone's got their eyes on. Which to me, I mean, you know, the VPVR just reinforces this, I mean, you know, I already knew this, but now you guys can see it very clearly. We didn't establish any resistance on the way up, which means that we're probably not going to find any support on the way back down. This is what I was saying about Ethereum. This is why I sold my Ethereum so high, ladies and gents. This is what VIPs got. You know, when I was telling them that I was going to be selling my Ethereum all the way up here, I announced that I would be selling my Ethereum in this post, right? No, not this post, my bad, this post. I mentioned with my investment update that I was strongly considering selling part or all of my Ethereum holdings. I actually sold 50%. I sold half of all my Ethereum somewhere on this little dip right here before the big crash. And the reason that I knew that this would be such a good idea was that on the way up on this chart, and let me use a fresh chart real quick because this is getting a little bit confusing, but on the way up, basically anything above kind of $2,500, or actually more so above $2,000, Ethereum didn't really establish any resistance on the way up. You know, it pretty much just trended upwards with a straight line. There wasn't really much that stopped Ethereum from trading higher, which is absolutely great when you're trading up, but it also means that when you're trading down, you're not going to have much opportunity to find support. So while the market did get a few little bounces, right, take a look at this, we did get a few bounces, it didn't really find much. Any bounces it got was not sustained. This bounce here, it lasted how long? 11 hours, and we started dipping down again. So the market really wasn't responding well to support. It was dropping quite harshly, and it was only finding temporary bounces that didn't even take it too high, right? From 3,100 up to 3,500. That's like, I don't know, a 17% rise. Let me calculate that real quick. It's a 14% rise. It's no big deal at all. This is a very small rise, and immediately we lose it. There's no support on the way down, because there was no support, there was no resistance on the way back up. And it works the same way for Bitcoin right here, right? Precisely because Bitcoin did not establish any resistance on the way up between $20,000 and $30,000. Look at this, it barely stopped anywhere. It had such an easy ride up. You guys remember this if you were in the market. Bitcoin had no problem rising up from $20,000 all the way up to $30,000. I even traded this gap right here. I traded this move because I expected this, because as a trader, I knew that this was going to happen. I made, I don't know, something like a 400%, 360% profit on that trade. All VIP members saw how I pulled that off. I wish I had the picture of it right now. It would have been such a cool thing to flex, but the point is, you know, this was a very predictable thing to be seeing in the market, that Bitcoin was essentially just going to gap straight from 24,000 all the way up to $30,000. It did do that. The trade went phenomenally. Thank you very much for asking. And the market managed to rise up very nicely. It's very fun on the way up, but it means that on the way down, you have no reason to expect support. And if you're already in a very dangerous state of the market where people are very fearful and people are, you know, capitulating, they're throwing their holdings away, they've just given up on the market. Well, what do you think is going to happen when we start entering such thin ice, such levels that are like thin ice? You know, it's just going to collapse the way I see it. And really, I think that's a great analogy for it. You know, these support levels that I'm seeing right here with the green lines, they shouldn't even be green boxes, to be honest. I mean, they deserve to be a different color because they're so weak, in my opinion. You know, I can go for, you know, a color a little bit more like this. I think honestly is more suitable for the market right here, because I don't see these as being strong areas of support. This one perhaps can be a shade darker. You know, the point is, I don't really see Bitcoin having any good support in this range, and I do see these levels as being just kind of thin ice. You know, we might be able to get a bounce, but because this 30K level is so strong, you know, if we fail it, it means that there's a lot of weakness, and more importantly than that, it means that there's a lot of momentum behind this downtrend, right? So that's what can end up taking it significantly lower. Now, the one thing that I think definitely could help Bitcoin here, that means that Bitcoin might not fall all the way down to 20, although you know, look, if we're gonna fall down this low, we may as well go down to 20. If we don't go down to 20, it's actually gonna be a bad thing in my opinion. It just means that we haven't completely reset. We haven't completely fallen down. Now, we don't need to completely reset, to be very clear with you guys. We did not completely reset when Bitcoin fell down. Let me show you this drop right here. We don't need to completely reset. We would if we fall down to 20K, because that was the previous all-time high from 4 years ago. Look, this was the previous all-time high. So we would completely reset if we fell down here, but we don't have to. You know, what we could end up seeing instead, and I'll get to why we don't have to in a minute, but what we could end up seeing instead is that the market will just buy Bitcoin up a little bit before the $20,000 level, right? So we're going to get close to the $20,000 level. Maybe we'll fall down to 20,900, and people will start buying up with so much intensity that we're going to start moving up and we'll never come back down to these price levels again. Very possible. With the same ideas in mind, this is just people kind of trying to play the self-fulfilling prophecy first. It's like, if you know that absolutely everybody is going to be selling at $60,000, then you might want to sell at $59,000. But you think that many other people are going to have that idea, so instead you're going to sell at 58, and so on. And the next guy thinks that you're going to have that idea, so he's going to sell at 57. That's what we're seeing here in reverse, where people are actually potentially going to be looking to buy Bitcoin a little bit earlier than the real support levels, purely because they anticipate so much buying volume there. We don't know what's going to happen. Either we're just going to plummet down, it's going to be absolutely catastrophic, it's going to be a terrible end of the world event, or people are going to be buying it up so damn easily. I will definitely be one of the buyers. I don't know about you guys, but I've already said it publicly. I will literally consider selling my house in order to buy Bitcoin down at $20,000. That would be the trade of a lifetime. I'm already getting prepared to do that because VIP members know that I started selling my Bitcoin way up at $52,000, and I'm looking to buy my Bitcoins like 2.5 times cheaper. So if I can buy down at 20K, I would love that, and obviously I'm going to be writing it up to new all-time highs. Guys, you know my opinions on this. I'm saying that we're bearish in the short term because the charts are bloody terrible, but I fully expect that Bitcoin is going to be able to recover. I'm still not being shaken in that belief right here. Nothing has changed my mind on that. And I think that when we do end up recovering, if we do, because nothing is guaranteed, if we do end up recovering, I certainly think that Bitcoin is going to be able to recover up to levels, closer to, $100,000, even above $100,000, I think is very, very possible. So there we go. I think that there is a possibility that people will try and kind of front run the market, just basically trying to do what everybody else wants to do a little bit earlier, which is why we might not fall down all the way to 20K. The only other compelling argument that I see here is that there is a CME gap and we tend to close all of them. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not super interested. I see a lot of comments about people like Elon Musk. I'm gonna get to that in just a little bit. There is a reason that I've not been talking about Elon Musk in this YouTube channel. There is a reason that I've not been talking about things like the Bitcoin Miami conference and different things like that. I'm gonna get to all of that in just a bit, so bear with me when we start switching to your questions and different things like that. But obviously this analysis has been so important, so I've had to stick with this. If you have been enjoying this live stream so far, ladies and gents, then please do smash up the likes on this live stream. I would really appreciate it. This is the first live stream we've done in a little bit, so if you are finding it useful, informative, educational, entertaining, anything like that, even just for a minute, then please do show some support by hitting up that like button. It goes a long way for me. Seriously, it really does. And of course, I'll continue to deliver this amazing content for you guys. If you're not already subscribed, then you know what to do. But right here, like I said, there you go. That's why I think that we could end up falling down all the way down to 20K. And the reason that we might not get a full reset is actually because Bitcoin has done this a lot where it doesn't actually get the full reset. One key example of this was I guess Bitcoin all the way down here. Bitcoin not managing to fall all the way back down for that full reset. So an example of what I've just described, where people try and basically predict what the market will do and then preemptively strike, and then too many people do that, was that Bitcoin originally bottomed out right here at $3,150. And this is back in the big crash, the one that happened when Bitcoin fell from 20K down to 6K down to 3K. We fell all the way down to 3,150. That's where the market bottomed out. And then the next time Bitcoin fell down to this level, everybody expected that Bitcoin was going to fall down to the same level, set a double bottom, and then rally up. But because too many people expected that, the price of Bitcoin actually bottomed out at 3,300. So we bottomed out a whole $150 higher purely because a lot of people were trying to preemptively strike in this market and send the market higher. And you can see how it did trigger some pretty big rallies to the upside. So I traded this move up. That was a beautiful gain. That's one of the biggest profits I ever had in my life. Closed it way higher. VIP members will remember this. It was like a 360% profit as well. It's annoying how I can't seem to get a 400% gain. I'm getting 360%, I'm getting 360% again, 380%. I don't think I've ever had a 400% gain. So that's a little bit annoying in one trade. A little bit annoying. I'm trying to beat that, but obviously I'm not going out of my way because, you know, trading with a strategy is more important than trading with your ego. But in any case, Bitcoin didn't come down to get that full reset, but we already know what happened. The rest was history, and the market ended up trending all the way up to $14,000. So we don't need to get that full reset. It's just that it would be very nice if we did. It would be very nice if we did. Now, unfortunately, we switched to coins like Ethereum, and I'm going to go through your questions in just a minute. So, ladies and gents, now is when you should be dropping your questions in the comment section. If you have a question for me, if you have something you want me to look at, then make sure you type my name in the comment section, write 4flies in the comment section, so that I'm actually going to be able to see your comment. If you don't do that, I'm not going to be able to see your comment. I won't be able to hit you back with a response, but I am going to start going through my Ethereum analysis now, and then I'm going to be talking a little bit about your questions and other things going on in the space right here. Ethereum, unfortunately, is in the same boat as Bitcoin. You know, it was forming a very bullish pattern, and I was actually going to make a video on this. I think we might have even been talking about it in VIP, although I don't remember, where Ethereum was, and I had this, you know, paintbrush tool right here illustrating that we had some resistance here. It's very interesting how that was super accurate. Ethereum was forming a very nice, basically ascending triangle right here. However, it's kind of, we fell out to the downside, right? So Ethereum was in a very nice bullish pattern. It was getting ready to explode to the upside. And of course, what was so exciting about this right here, ladies and gents, was that Ethereum does not have any resistance up ahead, right? So if Ethereum managed to get a bullish breakout, it could go up to $4,000 within the next, you know, 3 days, right? It would be a very quick rise up to the previous all-time high. However, it didn't manage to do that. It ended up falling to the downside, and that's pretty much just because Bitcoin fell to the downside, in my opinion, right? Whenever Bitcoin is getting hit, the rest of the market is getting hit, and it's very hard to avoid that. It's very hard to be in a position where Bitcoin is getting hit, but the rest of the market is not. Very rare that you actually see that. So if you're prepared for those kind of things, like I said, I was prepared for that. VIP members saw how I was because I was selling my Ethereum way earlier, you know, than this right now in this market. I was even making money on Ethereum while it was dropping. Here's my Ethereum post where I was making money on Ethereum. Same as this VIP member right here. I made this profit a little bit earlier than this VIP member though, but he made double the money I made, so I don't know. He's probably better than me. I'm not I'm not complaining about that. You know, there's a lot of opportunities to be making money in this market dropping down, so you shouldn't be scared of us dropping. That's not a bad thing. If you're worried about how to do that, you don't really know how, you need to learn the ins and outs of how to do that. You don't even know anything about the concepts of it, then that's completely fine. We have content just for you, for complete beginners inside of the 4flies VIP group. You know, when we're making trades, you're also going to be finding demonstrations of exactly how I'm entering those trades as well. We have tutorials on everything inside of VIP, and we can also bundle in our 4flies Academy courses, which is going to teach you everything that you need to know about trading from A all the way to Z, regardless of your prior knowledge. You could be a chef, you could be a janitor, you could be a personal trainer, and you can pick up these courses and you will know as much as I know by the end of them. They're made very well. The success rates with those courses have been way better than I thought they would be, and I already thought they would be phenomenal. They're way better than that. So if you want to gain access to what I think is probably the best thing I've ever produced, then here are the steps on screen for you to gain access to it right now. Now it's definitely the time. Look, we're dropping. If you're still in the market, you want to make a little bit of money, you need to know how to do it safely. Otherwise, you're just going to lose it way faster than you ever have before. Very, very important. You need to know how to do it properly at a time like this right here. Ben Roberts wants to see my most recent trade. This VIP video, which is free for you all to watch inside of our free Telegram channel, covers my most recent trade. So go ahead and check it out. I'm not going to show you my actual orders, but I have broken down everything else, and VIPs saw all the real-time updates of that trade anyway. Anyway, bringing it back to Ethereum, I think it's at the mercy of Bitcoin. I think that whatever Bitcoin does, Ethereum will have to follow. It was forming a better pattern than Bitcoin, which is good. I still think that Ethereum is stronger than Bitcoin overall. I think that it's going to outperform Bitcoin. I've been saying that for a long. I've been saying that since before Ethereum even crossed $400. I've been saying since around $330 that I think Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin, and I still think that that's the case. I used one very simple hypothesis, which was basically just that when Bitcoin has finished rallying, money typically goes from Bitcoin into smaller coins, and the next small coin after Bitcoin is Ethereum, which is why I expected Ethereum to rally very nicely after Bitcoin. Got a comment right here from one of our Academy members mentioning that he's doing the Academy right now, and it's an A++++ course. I'll take it. Thank you very much. It is like I'm very happy with it. You guys are super happy with it, so that's super, super cool. But anyway, taking it back to the Ethereum chart right here, it's just that when a market rallies massively, right, when the big safe market rallies very well, you'll typically see people getting very rich in a short space of time. So now they're getting greedy. They're feeling greedy. They want to make more money. They want to do even better. And when they do that, when they start feeling that, they're going to start looking to diversify. And where are the suit and tie, white collar, men on Wall Street going to be doing, right? They're not going to diversify into fucking Matic or whatever your shit coin is that's being peddled in your Telegram or Discord group. They're not going to entertain your shit coins. They're going to go into something like Ethereum. They're not going to go into Tron. They're not going to go into Link. They're not going to go into whatever the hell your shit coin is that just made it into the top 50 on CoinMarketCap. They don't give a fuck. They're going into Ethereum, my friends. They're going into Ethereum because it's established, because it's got history, because you can trade it, because it has bloody liquidity, right? You're talking about big players entering the market, but your shitcoin can't even support a $10,000 buy without pumping the market 10% up. Ethereum is not like that, right? Ethereum is one of those tokens where you can pour millions of dollars into it and you're still not going to move the price, right? Same as Bitcoin. So that's where big money is going to go, and that was the backbone of my prediction from a very long time ago. Now, like I said, this was already outlined to VIPs. I already told VIPs why I'd be selling at the top as well, and that is very, very important to keep in mind. So I think that while Ethereum right now is in a bad place, it's losing against Bitcoin. It's been performing worse than Bitcoin. We can compare Ethereum to Bitcoin, and it managed to fall massively against Bitcoin. It's now made a recovery. I think it will get a little bit worse because I think Bitcoin is going to drop a little bit further. But overall, Ethereum's in a pretty good place right now. I think that Ethereum is going to end up outperforming Bitcoin once things become rosy again. We're not rosy yet, so I think it's still going to be a little bit shaky. But for now, those are my thoughts on Ethereum as well. Now I'm going to start going through your questions. I'm going to start going through them from the top as usual, so I hope to not miss anybody. I'm not going to cover Dogecoin. My God, you're going to drive me crazy. And before I get to all of that, I want to give a quick note on the Miami Bitcoin conference. Now, while it's absolutely amazing that a bunch of rich, lonely, nerdy men are starting to make friends, it was some of the most cringeworthy shit I've ever seen. And there's a reason that I haven't been commenting on the drama with Elon Musk and the like. It's not my place to say what someone can and can't tweet. And I definitely don't think that it played as big of a role in the markets as most other people think. I think that we just got fake outs. From a technical perspective, you can read this chart so damn easily. You don't need to know that Elon Musk was tweeting, FUD at levels like this. And even then, ladies and gents, he's not your dad. He's not your fucking father who has to respect what your investments are and make sure that you're not going to lose money. If you can't do that yourself, you've got much bigger problems than Elon Musk writing out some tweets, right? So anyone who thinks like that needs a slap across the face, need to check if you still have what's downstairs, because you're acting like a bitch, and you need to get a grip of reality, because people will tweet shit and you will lose money sometimes. And if you're not prepared for that, and if you don't have, if you're not mentally prepared for that, if you're not physically prepared, logistically prepared in terms of having a stop loss, right? Just basic things like that, then you're gonna get screwed, and you're gonna learn these lessons the really, really hard way, right? So if you're one of the people that's been salty about Elon Musk, you're probably not even on this YouTube channel, to be honest, because we have a much more mature audience. But if you are one of them, you need to really seriously rethink how you're putting your money in these markets, because you're probably taking too much risk and you're getting super over invested. That's the reason I haven't been talking about the drama. I'm not interested. I'm a technical analyst, and from a technical perspective, we've still been on point on this channel. We've been calling these things out as what they are, which is fake outs. We've known that these were fake outs. We've been continuously saying that we'll probably end up falling down to the support level, and after that probably going to fall below the support level as well. You know, we might get a bounce, but I still think we're going to end up falling back down, and that's what the technicals are telling me. I don't need to be looking at Elon Musk's Twitter feed to entertain myself. I've got a life to live, right? So it's the same thing with all this other stuff. You know, if you're focusing on that, you're probably focusing on the wrong things. And honestly, I'd urge you to consider how many minutes you've spent obsessing over and reading some of the drama that's going around on this space. And if you just put that same time into reading a book about technical analysis, going through one of our courses, you know, listening to an analyst like Tone Vays, Crypto Kirby, reading a book like Market Wizards, pause the video, write down every suggestion I just made if you're actually turned on to this stuff, because this stuff is what's really going to change you as a trader. Reading a book like Market Wizards is what has changed my life as a trader, right? If you put that same time into actually studying this instead of being pissed off and upset about what some 40-year-old is tweeting, you'd be in a much stronger position. That's very important. You know, this is for people who actually want to make money. Do you actually want to make money, or do you want to engage in drama? Up to you. Anyway, I'm going to go to the questions now, but I had to say it. I had to say it. Everybody was asking me why I'm not talking about Elon Musk, and I've just continuously ignored those questions, but here we are. Very, very important to point these things out, I think. So, yeah, this guy keeps at 100. That's what I'm all about, right? I'm not gonna, like, this channel's gonna keep on growing, and we're gonna keep on getting a broader audience, and I'm not going to pacify what I'm saying. This is one thing I promise you guys right now. I've been like this since a much smaller channel. It's continuously stayed like this. We're not pacifying what we do. I'm not going to start censoring myself just because of feelings. No, this is trading. This is analysis. It's brutal and it hurts, and you're gonna lose your money. If you're strong enough, you'll make some back, and you'll make it in a sensible, slow, staggered, you know, path of growth. Otherwise, you know, not for you. That I think is very, very important. Why do I sound kind of like Elon? Well, maybe Elon has a point if I sound like him. I don't know. I don't even know what he has been saying. I don't care. I don't care. Like, yeah, he's saying some stupid shit. So what? Like, you know, he can say whatever he wants to say. You shouldn't be upset by it. Again, like, he's not your father. He's not your brother. It shouldn't matter what somebody on the internet says. Anyway, here we go. Please give my opinion on Bitcoin putting up a relief rally before breaking down. What price levels can we expect? So Kunal is asking me about Bitcoin potentially forming something like this and then carrying on trading downwards. So what I think right here is that Bitcoin might be able to establish some resistance at levels like 34,000 right here. This is a potential area that Bitcoin could find a relief rally. A relief rally is essentially where we're feeling very scared, but the market temporarily gives us a little bit of relief before we end up dropping lower. This right here, this rally, this is hard to draw, but this rally right here, all the way up to 42 when we fell down to 30, this was a relief rally and it ended pretty quickly, right? So, you know, I certainly think we could get a relief rally. The only thing is we're already kind of in one, and it's just not very strong, right? Look at how big this red volume is, and look at how small the green. You can't even see it on this chart. So we're already technically in a relief rally. You know, the market has already trended up a little bit by $1,500, like I said, around 5%. So we're in a relief rally right now. Now, I don't know how much higher it's going to go. It could very well be the case that Bitcoin actually kind of bounces around in this range a little bit and then gets a nice bounce upwards. I don't know. As for which levels it can go to, that's also a little bit tricky to say. I might actually call on the VPVR to help me, or actually use other indicators like the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud. Because once again, ladies and gents, this is another indicator that we've been outlining for you regularly on this YouTube channel right here, the Ichimoku cloud, talking about how this is actually something that can definitely be useful in this market. We got a rejection here. I warned you about that. Got a rejection here. Again, we spoke about that, and now we are down massively. So the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud, once again, completely very, very useful, completely successful in this market. in predicting where we might start to find some resistance and sending us lower. Very, very nice indeed. If we trade here for a couple of days, we're going to start to see Ichimoku resistance around the $33,000 level, and that's what I'd be keeping an eye on. There's also the EMA ribbon, which we need to look at right here. This is going to continue to trend downwards. We might find resistance there within the next 2 to 3 days as well with the EMA ribbon. If you don't know anything about these indicators, then now is when you pause the live stream, type this into the YouTube search bar, and then type this into the YouTube search bar as well. You're going to be able to watch my full tutorials on the VPVR indicator, the EMA indicator, EMA ribbon, and the Ichimoku cloud. These are the only 3 indicators I ever use. I don't know if you guys are paying attention. These are the only 3 indicators I ever use, and the VPVR is super rare. I haven't even used that one for like 6 months. So it's only Ichimoku cloud and EMA ribbon that I use. I'm a very how do I say, boring analyst in that way, right? Like, I don't actually do a lot of crazy indicators. Ichimoku cloud is difficult, I'll be honest with you, but once you get it, it's super simple. You need to watch my tutorial on these. You can get these for free, so well worth checking out right there, ladies and gents. This is a very, very useful indicator in my opinion, the Ichimoku cloud. Once again, it has completely predicted where that resistance in this market might be right now. So I think that this is where Bitcoin might be able to find a little bit more resistance in the future in terms of that relief rally right there. Ladies and gents, if you're enjoying this live stream so far, then make sure you hit up the likes and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're doing very well. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I'm going to continue going through your questions right here. We've just hit 97,000 subscribers. I love you all. We're so close to 100. This is amazing. There you go, Kunal. I hope that answers your question. I don't exactly know where Bitcoin might find resistance. I think 34 would make a little bit of sense, but to be honest, there's a lot of resistance in this whole range. I wouldn't really want to predict where, but I think that something like the Ichimoku cloud could definitely, or the EMA ribbon could definitely provide some of that resistance right here. Maybe even on the 1 hour chart. I don't know. On the 1 hour chart, we do have resistance. We did get a few rejections, but 1 hour Ichimoku clouds are not very reliable in my opinion. Anyway, let me continue going through your questions from top to bottom to make sure that I don't miss anything. Do I suggest that I stay in a trade? I will never make a suggestion. I'm sorry, I can't answer your question. Do I think the market is more in control by retail or by market makers? Obviously by market makers. Market makers is just anyone who's not retail. Well, just basically people who have more money than retail. You know, retail people are entering the market with a couple $1,000s, maybe even up to a couple $100,000. That's retail. You know, anything above that, you know, you're starting to talk about millions of dollars and so on. Those are the people who really move the market. What is my zodiac sign? Why does that matter? What do I think about Tron? Cool coin. I'm not interested. Algo, I don't know anything about it, don't care. What is my timeline for the next bull run? I have no idea. We haven't even finished this one yet, in my opinion. Any Indians here? I'm sure there are a lot of Indians. What do I believe is the next buy-in point? Well, I believe buy-in points are support. So, you know, we're at support right now. I mean, you know, other than that, I'm not sure. Can I talk about Theta and T-Fuel? No, I don't do alts. Should we assume that I don't do most alts? Should we assume that this technical analysis applies to other crypto? Well, you shouldn't assume anything. I think that this does apply to the broader crypto markets, mainly because they will follow Bitcoin. But there are exceptions. Dogecoin, no. My views on 2 trade setups? I don't know what you mean. Tuned in late? If you tune in late, please rewind the live stream. What is my bullish scenario? I don't have one, unfortunately. I can't even see anything bullish on this chart. I would love to tell you that Bitcoin could do something magnificent and start. The only bullish scenario I see is that Bitcoin manages to climb above $42,000. If we get above 42, I'm happy. You know, I have no indication that that's going to happen right now, unfortunately. I got to look at the long investment value. It doesn't matter as a trader. It's not something I should consider. Forfly is just another sensible, solid live stream. Finding it hard to make buying plans as a newbie, even with the Academy course, but holding some good coins at sensible prices. Finding it hard to make buying plans. I don't know what you mean by buying plans. As a trader, for me, it doesn't matter where I buy because I'm just going to trade it, right? So I can buy at 33,000 or I can buy at 45,000 and it won't make a difference. And that's my take on buying areas because I'm not really I do have my long-term investments, but I'm not an investor, right? Like I'm much more so a trader. This is amazing. Love your analysis. Thank you very much. Super live stream from Germany. Thank you very much, Anders. Thank you, Sean. What are the chances of ETH starts to push to around 4K today? almost zero, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't think there's much of a chance of that. I am all in fiat. I'm not gonna tell you what you should do with your money. What percent do I think the market will go down more? Well, if it drops from 30,000 down to 20,000, that's another 33% drop. So, you know, you do the math. Right now, it's a little bit more than a 33% drop. But from 30K down to 20K, 33% drop. So, and that's from the all-time high from 65,000. If we did that down to 20, that's a 70% drop. So that's a pretty big drop. That's no joke. Honestly, when I say that out loud, it doesn't sound that realistic that we're actually going to get that kind of a drop. But to me, it's just, on this technical chart, I can't see any other possibility. The only other possibility I really see, and this is bullish, is that Bitcoin actually just kind of trades here for a little bit. You know, instead of, and this would fix it, right? If Bitcoin traded sideways between 30K and 40K for the next 2 months, 1.5 months, something like that, that would be enough to, and then maybe we get one final dip lower and then we move up. That would be enough, I think, to reset the market, and then we end up trading higher again. That's probably my bullish scenario. And I think it's possible. You know, that's why I'm not going short right now. I think we are going to break down, but I'm not trading it. I'm not trading it because I don't know if we will. I think we will, but I don't know if we will. And I want to, you know, I want to make sure I'm not going to lose money if I'm wrong on that. So I'm only trading when I'm absolutely very, very sure. Oh, there was some FBI news, something like that, where the U.S. government hacked a Bitcoin wallet, and it was from some scammers or something. Very important to note that the U.S. government is among the first people that come to my mind when I think of liars. And they definitely did not hack Bitcoin. It's not possible. You can't hack Bitcoin. You can hack a Bitcoin wallet if the Bitcoin wallet is not made securely, but you can't hack Bitcoin. And apparently the way that these Bitcoins were seized was because they were hacked, or they were in some way scammed, or they were acquired illegally by Russian hackers. And then these Russian hackers tried to liquidate the Bitcoin through Coinbase, based in San Francisco. I don't know what these guys are smoking to come up with those ideas. I want some of it, because that level of creativity would be pretty useful for me right now. I can assure you, my friends, Russian hackers are not liquidating their Bitcoins through Coinbase. So that hacking news was obviously false. Obviously just a lie. It's not the first time that the US government has lied to scare people into paying taxes. That's like the most Western shit I can imagine. It's super obvious. And it is what triggered this dump. So that's actually why we're getting this dump, if you're wondering why, if you haven't heard yet. And, you know, this is the thing. It's like, this is a very stupid thing that's affected the market, but the market is delicate right now. So stupid things will trigger it, right? It's like, I'm gonna face some flack for saying this. I'm gonna say it anyway. It's like you're dealing with your woman, she's in a bad mood, and anything you do can piss her off, and she's gonna get super pissed off, and it's just, it's like all hell is breaking loose, and it's a big problem, right? That's Bitcoin right here. I had to say it. I feel very proud of myself, and that's what I'm seeing with Bitcoin right here, because this is not actually something that's bearish. You didn't actually say something to piss her off, but she's just moody. Bitcoin is just upset. The market is just in a fragile state, so it's dropping, and that's exactly what I think we're seeing right here. You know, that's why I think we're getting this drop. We didn't actually get something that's particularly scary. It's obvious that the US government cannot and did not hack Bitcoin, but we still got this drop in response to news that in my opinion is pretty much meaningless. And the reason we're getting that is because people are in a state of fear and uncertainty and doubt. And when you're in a situation like that in this market, you know, you're gonna be subject to big drops when things start to crack. That's a big deal. How much does a course cost? You can get access to all the information on everything we offer by following these steps on screen. We're not talking about it on the live streams, but this process will take you like 30 seconds. So if you're interested, it's worth 30 seconds to find out. Let's see what else we have here in the comments. But yeah, guys, if you are interested in signing up for the VIP group, then like I said, you know, it's always been the best time. The best time was yesterday, effectively. We've crossed 1,300 VIP members. We're killing it. I want to see you inside. We've got all the content that that you're looking for in terms of learning how to trade, and then even building on it to just refine it and fine-tune it on a daily basis. That's what I'm all about, 1% improvements every single day. If you do want to join our VIP group, then the steps are on screen. Just click on each of these red boxes. Very, very simple, and it will take you there. There might be a few more clicks in between, but of course you're going to be able to figure it out because it's very simple. Can I share my Ichimoku cloud settings in this order? It is 20, 60, 120, 30. Let's see what else we have. Any plans for a 100k special? Actually, no. I would love to hear your guys' suggestions. I'm not, someone's saying I'm not replying to an Indian. Nah, I'm just not seeing your comment. There's a lot of comments. I can't believe someone just pulled a race card on me. That's the first time that ever happened. Any plans for 100k special? One of my team members mentioned giving away a VIP membership. That could be cool. But to be honest, that sounds a little bit cheesy. It sounds a little bit boring to me. Could still do it, but you know, only one of you guys are gonna win, so it's not really. I mean, it would still be cool. I've done that kind of stuff before, but I would rather do something a little bit more interesting. If you guys have any suggestions, then please let me know. What about Cardano? I will take a look at Cardano in a moment. Wyckoff accumulation. Discuss. We're not in an accumulation range as far as I can see, because we have dumped lower. I think the accumulation would have taken us a little bit higher. Let's see what else we have here. Ichimoku cloud settings, once again, 20, 60, 120, 30. What do I think about the stock overflow model? I don't know anything about it. I'm sorry. Let's see what other questions we have here. Ah, fuck. Someone's just mentioned that they got scammed out of 2.5 Bitcoins. And they should have paid for my course instead. Well, my course is nowhere near as expensive. But I'm sorry to hear that you got hacked, man. My voice sounds like Elon? I don't think so. It sounds like a mix between South African and American. Fourth slide says, the book I mentioned, the one by Jack Schwager? Yes, it is. Market Wizards by Jack D. Schwager. Schwager spelled S-C-H-W-A-G-E-R. It's linked in the... Guys, if you want to buy these books, it's linked in the description. Just scroll down. Elon's 50 years old. Okay, I didn't know that. How old am I? Want to take a guess? Most of you probably know. Let me see if there's any... I don't see any more questions. If I haven't gone through your question, then please write it again. And make sure you write my name in your question so I see it as well. What about Cardano? Okay, I'll get to Cardano now. Let's take a look at Cardano. So this is one of the altcoins that I do actually look at. Against Bitcoin, it's performing absolutely amazingly. Very, very impressive. Against the dollar, it's doing okay. I mean, you know, look, it rallied up a lot. It's holding a pretty good level. I think it's dropped less than Bitcoin, hasn't it? Yeah, it's dropped a lot less than Bitcoin. So it's outperforming Bitcoin by a long shot. I like it. It's okay. I don't have much else to say. But I think it's performing well. There's just not much analysis I can do for Cardano, unfortunately. Oh, you guys are guessing my age? I'm getting, I mean, yeah, some of you guys just know it. It's 19, but someone said 32. A lot of people think I'm in my 30s. Someone said I'm 96. I've got the wisdom of a 96-year-old, right? I don't think so. I'm a little bit immature sometimes. Only sometimes. If you allowed yourself to get scammed, you deserve it. I don't know. Maybe you do, but it's still a shitty thing. A lot of our viewers get scammed because there are impersonators of myself. And, you know, these are just old people that have a bunch of money saved up. So it's not necessarily that they deserve it. It's just that they never learned cybersecurity. We can't really blame that on them, really. Grateful I found you. I'm grateful that you found me as well. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Right, guys, I'm going to go through a couple last questions and then probably call it a day for this live stream. Once again, if you're looking for a place to trade, you already know that it's Bybit. This is the exchange that I've been using for years. I love them. They're linked down below, and when you sign up with the link down below, you're also going to be getting a free trading bonus. Whatever you deposit, you're going to get some free cash on top of that, which you can trade with, you can gamble with, you can do whatever you like. There's a tutorial down below, so you can actually learn what the buttons are, and you can learn how to use the exchange completely as well. And if you are in the United States, like me, you will need a VPN to access the platform. That's what I'm doing. I've never had a problem, and nobody I know has ever had a problem as well. Let's see what else we have here in the comments. It was also news today that the IRS is asking Congress to regulate crypto. So there you go. It's just more US government trying to, get their fingers in something else. I don't know why this is surprising, but anyway, it's causing a little bit of a dump. If I was in a short position from 36, would I stay in my short position or take profits expected? I would, that's a good question. I would put my stop loss at break even, and I would be taking profits here, and I would take profits lower because I don't expect it bounce up to 42. But putting my stop loss at break even means that I wouldn't lose any money. For my 100k special, I should collab with Kirby. That would be very cool. That would be, well, I'm actually doing a collab with Toten Vase in a couple of days. That's going to be quite cool. We're going to be sharing our analysis, probably on our own respective channels. I don't know how that's going to work. Set us your car for the giveaway. Which car? That would be interesting. See, I wouldn't actually do that because I have a strong emotional attachment to my cars. But that's the kind of like interesting 100k special that I think would be kind of cool. Is it a good idea to convert alts? I can't tell you what to do. I'm sorry. Why is it taking so long for Bitcoin to crash to 20k? I don't think it's taken so long. I mean, it's just that you probably feel like it's taking so long. I think it's moving at a pretty healthy pace. I think it's moving at a pretty healthy... If it was moving faster, come on, that would be pretty fast. I think it's okay. This is just normal market movements. I don't think it's moving slowly. I'm 23 and the most immature person in the family. It's embarrassing. It doesn't have to be embarrassing if you own it. Some advice from a fellow immature friend. What is my car? It depends. I have quite a few cars. I'm kind of addicted. Right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a live stream there. What is the relief rally point for Ethereum? Well, this is the thing. For Ethereum, if Bitcoin triggers a relief rally, Ethereum can just go to the all-time high. It doesn't have resistance. It could literally just go to the all-time high. How did I become such a massive success? How did I turn my life around? That's an interesting question, and I'm sure my life story is somewhere. You can Google my name. This is my name. And there's some news articles on me, but a better one would be, if you actually are interested in that, is my Instagram profile. But and I've got the story highlight section right here, which is basically me telling my story, but it turns from me telling my story into me telling my story about how I got my cars. And I didn't really realize I was doing that until I finished it. And you can see literally the thumbnail for this is my Tesla Model 3. So I'm a big car guy, and it is a story of my life, but it becomes a story of my cars. Anyway, it's worth watching if you're interested. This is my Instagram profile, my full name, no spaces, with 1 underscore at the end. I have a lot of impersonators. They will do a double I, double L, double underscore, whatever. I have a lot of impersonators. This is my only page. It's spelt like this. Punch that into Instagram on your phone, and you can watch that to see my story. The cars, by the way, that's my Ferrari, that's my Porsche, it's my second Porsche. I love that Porsche. Big fan of Porsche. Anyway, let's move on. Let's see what else we have here. I'm 58 and the most immature person in the family. There you go. I mean, this is the thing. It's like, if I end up becoming your age and I'm not as silly as I am right now, I'm gonna be disappointed. Am I South African? No. Heritage from India and Pakistan. Can I explain Pax Gold? So you say Pax and I'm thinking of a vape. So clearly no, I'm sorry. I can't. I don't know what that is. What do I think of Vitalins? You mean Vitalik? I haven't heard his comments, I'm sorry. What is the time frame should I focus? I don't know. I focus on the 1 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame. I'm pretty happy with that. 1 day time frame as well. I'm pretty happy with that. think he said 19. I am 19, yes, quite young. A lot to learn. Let's see what else we have here in the comments. What are my thoughts on cyber attacks hurting Bitcoin? I've just covered them, Matthew. The cyber attacks don't exist. There's no such thing. You can't hack Bitcoin. You can hack a Bitcoin wallet. You can hack a Bitcoin exchange, right? That's just who owns the Bitcoin. You can't hack Bitcoin itself. I mean, you can. It's possible, but no one can afford it. When am I coming to Singapore? Oh man, I really want to go. I might even do a meetup when I'm out there. I did a meetup out here in LA. Singapore, I might do later this year. I don't know, like November, December, something like that. I'll be back in Dubai later. Let's say that I do sell my house and buy Bitcoin with that money. It goes up. Do I sell the Bitcoin once it's high enough, or do I hold it? Yeah, I'll sell it again because I need to buy my house back. Like, I need to have a house. But, so I bought a house in Dubai, for those of you who don't know, a couple months ago with my Bitcoin. This is why I was selling. This is one of the reasons I was selling my Bitcoin when I announced it to VIP members. So, you know, like, I wouldn't. If I said I'm selling my house, like, I actually mean it. Like, I actually will sell my house. So, like, if Bitcoin falls down, I'm not saying I will, but I'll consider selling it if it falls down to 20. And yeah, I would probably sell the Bitcoin again, maybe at 30,000, because we might get rejected here. This is strong support, so it's going to be strong resistance if we come back here. You better keep that in mind. And don't worry, I'll tell you about it if it comes to it. But this is going to be resistance, so I might actually sell my Bitcoin over here, and that would turn, you know, whatever my house is into 1.5 times more money, and then I'll just buy back the house, and I'll have half the money for the house again. You know, which can go into anything. I mean, that's just pure wealth creation there. It's a stupid idea. Look, most likely I'm not going to do it. It's my mom. Like, I got the house for my mom, so I can't sell her house. That would be a massive dick move. That would be of terrible taste just for trading profits. That I would be a terrible son if I did that. But the point is, I would consider it. And if I did do it, I would then sell the house, of course. I'm sorry, sell the Bitcoin to buy the house back. What's the best advice I would give a newbie trader? I wouldn't give you advice. I would say you've got to study what you're doing. You know, the more you study and the less you trade, the better you'll be. That's it. That, you know, you don't have to buy our stuff. Obviously, I've made it and it's great, so it's good for you if you can afford it. You don't have to do it. You know, there's courses out there. You can learn everything I'm teaching, you know, like for free without even, you know, you can get PDFs of books, you can learn from your mistakes, different things like that. It's just that when you're doing that, you're going to be spending your time and your money. You're going to be spending your money because you're going to be losing trades, which, you know, that's going to be hard to recover. And you're going to be spending your time. And right now, the trading market is very fertile. It's a very good time to be a trader right now. It's a breeding ground for profits, the way I see it. So if you're prepared now, and you can shortcut that massively by joining a group like VIP and going through what we have. That's what we've seen so many. I mean, these are people who, you know, they've never traded before a lot of the time. These are people who traded really badly and only started a few months ago, or maybe even like 2-3 years ago, but never took it seriously. They join VIP and they shortcut the path they want to get to. It's still going to be work. You know, the work starts when you join. This is something that I think I need to stress a little bit more. Like, it's not that you're going to join VIP and all of a sudden you're going to be a great trader. You will be able to see how I trade. I consider myself to be an above average trader, at least. You know, so you will be able to see how I trade. You'll be able to get all the information about it. That's cool. It's not going to turn you into a good trader. That's where the work starts. It's just that your life becomes a lot easier when you have all the resources that we offer. And that's what we do really well. We give you a lot in controlled ways, to where you can use it and really benefit quite well inside of these markets. You'll get these courses a lot of the time for free, depending on which plan you take inside of Foresight VIP. And if you want to take it to that next level, but you're not sure about it, then you can still follow these steps and send me a message and request a phone call with a member of my team. I do try to join those phone calls when I can. Unfortunately, it's been rare lately. But if you would like to speak to myself or a member of the team, send me a message and ask for it, and we will schedule that, and we will see if you are a good fit for ForFlies VIP. How do I recognize the reverse point? You don't really know it's a reversal point until afterwards. Grew up in London and speak Punjabi and Hindi. I don't speak either of them, but I can understand them. Come to Japan. I will. I will, for sure. Someone's saying rock my mouth. That's hilarious. Thank you so much for your TA. I second guess myself with my own, and you have helped me tremendously to validate. You're very welcome, Chrissy. That's what we're all about. That's what we're all about. How realistic is it that we'll drop to 20 to 25k? I think fairly realistic. I think that's super likely. Would I recommend any other YouTube channels? Crypto Kirby, Tone Vase. Let me spell them for you real quick. Crypto Kirby right here. Great analyst. I learned a lot from him. And same from Tone Vase. Learned a lot from him as well. I've bought both of their paid stuff. Crypto Kirby was the first person that I ever paid for education. I joined his VIP group. It's great. He still has a VIP group, so consider that as well. And Tone Vase as well. He doesn't have anything like a VIP group, but he has workshops. He's a great analyst. These are two great traders. The Moon is also good. The Moon, Carl the Moon, he's a personal friend. Actually, they're all personal friends. This is a good channel, but his videos are shorter and they don't go as in depth. But if you're looking for shorter videos that are not super technical, then compared to the other two guys I just mentioned, then the Moon is great. How do I manage the tax aspect of my profits? I moved to Dubai. In the Middle East, in the Khaliji territories, you typically don't see much tax. In Dubai, there is zero tax. You can take a loan against your Bitcoin so you don't have to sell your house. Yeah, but that's, I don't know, I feel like that's even more risky. Look, the point is I'm not going to do anything stupid. I've already sold a bunch of my Bitcoin and I intend on buying it back lower. Why don't I do an academy for teaching traders? I already have that. That's the ForFlies Academy. I'm not sure what you mean. What self-development books would I recommend? Think and Grow Rich is great by Napoleon Hill. Not really going to help you as a trader. So this is the thing, okay, so Michael Lee in the comments saying Kirby is a fucking bear. Now, your comment got caught in the spam filter, and I'm not going to show it because it's stupid, but, yeah, Kirby is a bear, and guess what? Being a bear in this market would have made you a lot of bloody money, right? So being a bear is not a bad thing. Crypto Kirby said this a long time ago, but it's not one of his quotes. He said, in these markets, bulls make money, bears make money, pigs, Michael, get slaughtered. Yeah, he's a bear. What the fuck do you expect? We're in a downtrend. You want to make money or you want to be happy? You want to smell the roses and feel the sunshine on your face? You know, that's the job for children. We're in reality right here. We're in a downtrend. It's not sunshine and roses, my friend. Being a bear is going to make you money right here. Look at these VIP members that are constantly pulling these kind of profits in a downtrend. This is not happening by accident. Right here, another member right here, go in 2 days, 2 videos into our ForFlies Academy course. This was from about 2 weeks ago, and already made $870 inside of a day. So this person made more than the ForFlies Academy course price in the first 2 days, in the first 2 videos, after watching the first 2 videos, I'm sorry. Mentioned it's not a big score, but already paid off that fee, so that's super impressive. And happy to see a big change in attitude, going from hoping to observing and evaluating. Look at that, going from hoping to observing and evaluating and making more money. You know, you can get there on your own, but it's going to take you time. You're going to lose money. There are shortcuts, and you need shortcuts when the market is so juicy like it is right now. Once again, steps are right here on screen. Think and Grow Rich self-development book, and the other one, Success Principles by Jack Canfield. That one's good. ForFlies is a little James. Maybe I am. Has anyone told me I look like a coder? Literally nobody has ever told me that. Oh god, these comments are getting funny now. Summer Rain is calling me cute, but I prefer highly intimidating. Did all the crypto YouTubers go to Dubai a few weeks ago to catch their profits? I'm not sure. I think no. There was a Bitcoin event in Dubai like 2 weeks ago. I should have been there actually. Well, I was invited. I'm glad I didn't go, but yeah, that's why the YouTubers were there, and that's why everyone was in Miami now. How many hours do I sleep? Full 8 hours. Most of the time. Right, guys. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Let's smash up those likes one last time and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. I'm gonna call it a live stream right there. We've gone an hour and a half, so that's not bad. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Someone's asking who's the girl in the back. Which one? Michael, let's... Oh god, this is funny. Okay, I'll move to Dubai one day too. You're very welcome to. Dubai is a great place to be. Thank you all very much for tuning in today. If you have enjoyed this one, you know what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, tick the bells, all that good stuff. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.